Dakota Raymond, thank you for that introduction, and thanks to everyone here for that warm welcome. Mr. Martin, teachers and faculty, parents and grandparents, and graduating students, and distinguished guests. It is a supreme honor for me to be in this position, and I am deeply touched by the sentiments expressed by Dakota in that introduction. During the weeks leading up to this day, I asked several adults who their graduation speaker was. Most could not recall who the person was or what they said. There was one exception. My 87-year-old mother graduated Old Richmond School 69 years ago in 1942 in a class of size 15. When I asked her the question, she reflected briefly and said, John Wesley Clay. She went on to add that he was a writer for the Winston-Salem Journal. In fact, he was a writer who wrote a regular column called My Notions. Today, I will express some of my notions in this speech. My goal is to present ideas that you will remember for 69 years. I will make 3 major points and put forth 2 suggestions. First, I'll address the families of the class of 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege to spend time with your children throughout their high school experience. During the past 4 years, I was in classrooms, hallways, and teachers' workrooms over 2,200 hours. I saw these students grow from age 14 to 18 as I matured from age 60 to 64. I watched them grow and shed most of their childish ways as they became thoughtful, reasonable, and more respectful. I have looked each student in the face, made extended eye contact, and listened to their voice. They have done the same to me. We are not strangers. In classes, after the students and I executed the teachers' lesson plans, I sometimes talked to the students about life, living, acquiring skills, and the benefits of setting short-term and long-term goals. I often used books I've read or my life and my family to tell stories. If you could see your son or daughter in the classrooms and hallways as I have seen them through my eyes, most of you would be exceedingly proud of your child. Ladies and gentlemen, you have done a marvelous job leading and guiding your offspring to this time and place. Students, this brings me to my first major point. Of all the people in this vast audience, your mother and father are the greatest among us. No other classification of people is equal to parents and their responsibilities, power, and influence. Here are some of the reasons they are the greatest. Your parents brought you to this point in life. They provided for you from the cradle to here. They fed, clothed, and provided your shelter. They paid taxes and fees and helped elect representatives to govern all of us. Without parents and grandparents, we would not be here. This is why they are the greatest and the reason they deserve your honor and respect forever. Next, I will address the teachers. Teachers are like all of us. They deal with sickness and family deaths, workshops, seminars, and all the rest, just like you and me. And when they are away, a substitute is needed. I say this: a substitute is not equal to the teacher, not me, not anyone else. Here is my conclusion after subbing for 6 years, and major point number 2. The position of teacher is the best job in the universe. Our culture and the opinions of society tell us that success is about acquiring power, wealth, and fame. Life is not about wealth, fame, land, money, real estate, stock options. Students, life is about people and relationships. People and relationships which are face to face, eye to eye, and yes, text message to text message. This basic human interaction is to encourage, support, and help build up people for their personal growth. Classroom teachers do this every day to as many as 150 students. Each day, teachers are face to face with students as knowledge is imparted, enlightenment experienced, and inspirations ignited. I have been witness to this as I worked alongside teachers at Reagan High School. No other job I know about impacts human lives as much as teachers in the classroom. All career teachers I have ever known are well-traveled, well-read, and live in comfortable homes with great satisfaction about their meaningful lives. Combine this with a happy family, and there is noble life achievement. Class of 2011, you know me as a substitute teacher in a classroom setting. I want you to hear my following words as wisdom with the love of a grandfather. On your birth date, you were a gift to your parents. Today, you are that same gift and a great blessing to your family, your friends, and to all of us. I congratulate you on your graduation. It was not magic or mystery that brought you to this level of achievement. It was the consistency of study, continuous work, and proper responses to the guidance and leadership from your family and your teachers. The same diligence will take you to the next level. It will not be magic or mystery, just hard work and the proper application of your ability. This brings me to my third major point. No matter where you journey in life, the question is always, what can you do in this ever-changing world? When you arrive at the university classroom or the job interview, you will be evaluated on what you can do. Throughout life, the spoken or unspoken question will always be, what can you do to contribute to the objective at hand? Yeah, I know. Some grown-ups like to talk and dwell on what they did in the past, not what they can do now or do in the future. But that's the question we all have to belly up to. What can I do in this changing world? The answer for me is to be a substitute teacher. Some of the students have heard me tell the true story of Paul Orfila. Many students gave young Orfila derogatory names because of his strange hair when he was a teenager in Santa Barbara in the early 1960s. Paul's hyperactivity and misbehavior caused him to spend much time in ISS. His poor performance on quizzes and tests resulted in a class rank of 7th from the bottom of 1,200 students at Santa Barbara High School in California. But young Orfila had a dream and a belief. His dream was a vision about his future, and his belief had to do with smart people. He believed that if he hired bright people and paid them well, smart people would bring him success in business. Over the next 30-plus years, smart, well-paid managers and employees and Paul Orfila expanded Kinko's nationwide. In the year 2004, FedEx bought the company founded by Orfila. Paul Orfila and over 120 of his partners and managers received handsome payouts in addition to being paid well for over 30 years. Orfila's entrepreneurship created jobs and enhanced comfortable living for himself and his employees. Mr. Orfila has placed much of his wealth in a foundation called the Orfila Family of Funds. Today, you and I benefit from the philanthropy of this once incorrigible and low-performing student. The good news and the point of this story is this: performance in high school does not guarantee a final outcome in life's journey. Beyond this day, it will take more education, inspiration, perspiration, incubation, and dedication, according to Edison and Einstein. Today, our nation is crying out for new startup companies to create jobs. You, class of 2011, both male and female, possess young energy, motivation, and ideas about the future. As you proceed to the next level in your life, prepare a plan, then secure a new ventures loan, and begin a startup business. Whether you are above average or below the average in class rank, have a vision and the courage to make it happen, like Paul Orfila. This is suggestion number 1. Start your own business. Now I will talk about freedom, financial freedom. Always live far below your means and don't become overextended with debt. Heavy debt will make you feel like a slave tethered to a job that you may dislike. A debt burden can keep you someplace long after you become tired and bored with your job. Instead, set a goal to be debt-free as soon as possible. Pay for your home and cars quickly, and then pay in full for everything at the time of purchase. This will give you an unbelievable freedom and peace of mind. Then you will be freer to make changes in vocation if you desire. My wife and I accomplished this when I was 41. Since then, everything we've done has been paid in full at the time of purchase. Home improvements, new cars, travel, and yes, college tuition for children. Everything in the past 23 years paid in full at the time of purchase. There is nothing special about me. There were no inheritances or trust funds. If my wife and I did it, you can do it better. Here is suggestion number 2. Let your motto be, pay in full at the time of purchase. Don't be confused by my words that urge you to borrow money to start a business and then say, become debt-free as soon as possible. Personal budgets and business ventures are 2 separate entities and should be managed using different criteria. Next, I will urge you to consider your education cost. When I became a substitute teacher, I faced a choice. I could earn $68 per day or get $5 more if I furthered my education. I paid Forsyth Community College $90 for tuition and a workbook to obtain effective teacher training. My $90 investment and 33 hours in the classroom has resulted in $3,000 in additional income over 6 years. $90 to earn $3,000 over 6 years is a great payout, even after federal and state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare, which I do not fret to pay. I use this simple example for illustration purposes. Most of you have made a similar choice, but on a much bigger scale. You have decided to go to a school of your choice at a certain cost that will point you to a career. You should evaluate your tuition cost and forecast a payback from what you expect to learn and what you will do with your education. Again, what can I do with my schooling? What will be the projected payout of my investment? I know it's not all about economics. There are social benefits, family history, and culture advancement to be gained from education. But don't ignore the cost. Students, you are the most modern teenagers ever in our Pofftown 27040 zip code. You represent the most recent crop of young people this collection of human capital and our financial resources have brought to bear. From my point of view, you are the best quality of teenagers to ever graduate from our zip code. Your parents will begin to release you to the world, and their supervision will be no more. When this happens, you will muster all the training, schooling, and mentoring you have received and begin a pattern of behaviors that will define you as a unique individual with a character. This character will be good, righteous, and a model for your eventual offspring. The cycle will repeat with each new generation, improving upon the previous. That's the way it's supposed to be. You should go from here to the next place with confidence that you will measure up to all the classes who have gone before you. Many of you will never return to make your home in our neighborhoods because opportunities abound elsewhere. Some of you will remain or return to become our neighbors and to help us build community. But no matter where you go, I hope your heart will be warmed and that you will think good thoughts when you reflect upon Pofftown, Reagan High School, and your teachers and friends from home. I will close my speech by the way we started class in the classrooms. You will recall that when the school bell rang, I closed the door. You moved into your seats and became quiet. And I read you a quote of the day to break the ice, to offer something inspirational, thought-provoking, to get us warmed up before we launched into the lesson plan of the teacher. You gave me your full attention. I ask for your full attention now. I've got a few quotes here that I will read in rapid succession. You will want to remember these for 69 years And if you don't trust your memory, you need to enter them into your device and read them once a year for 69 years as you internalize this message. Listen up. And I'll announce the author at the end. Mothers and fathers are the greatest among us. The position of teacher is the best job in the universe. No matter where you journey in life, the question will always be, what can you do in this ever-changing world? Let your motto be, pay in full at the time of purchase. Start your own business. Author Mike Mabe, born 1947, soldier, corporate senior manager, substitute teacher. Students, class of 2011, your future is bright. Embrace it. Don't be intimidated. Have no fear. And continue living a quality life.